bacon, mac and cheese.
Barbecue.
It's so good. It's bacon in everything. And it's like good bacon too.
Bacon salad. Bacon soup.
Yes, bacon salad. I never had a soup there. I bet you they do make bacon soup though. I bet you it's pretty
bacon
good.
Bacon fries. Bacon potatoes.
It is bacon fries. It is bacon on the
bacon
potato. Well, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it looks like it's working now. Actually, it looks like you're only like a second behind on the video too, so it's looking pretty sharp.
It's pretty quick. Crazy Hydra. My video hasn't loaded yet for eating the stream.
Crazy Hydra came from Stars, and now he's playing against Stars. Look at that.
Yeah, V said yesterday that no matter what happens, Star should get the win here because Crazy Hydra is a Woojin star.
It's true.
But V just makes up his own stuff, so who cares?
Well, that'd be a good thing for KT if he plays like a Woojin star, because Woojin stars are good against Terran, and he's about to play one of the top TVZers around in Light, so good luck to him. I guess this is kind of like a kill event, though.
He's just going to smash into the ground.
The Light's TVZ.
I don't know the map.
Baller,
I think I had the maps. Let me find my map list. I'll tell you what the map is going to be.
This is going to be...
New Empire of the Sun. No, that's wrong.
Icarus.
That was so wrong. I have the Day 1 maps. I don't even have the new one. I'm such an idiot.
I think they just rotate them. So we're going to be on Icarus. It's going to be fun. We're going into the pregame screen. Excellent. And here we go. All right, let's see where we got. What are our start spots? We've got... Who are they going to ally? We'll look at that first. And they are going to have Crazy Hydra at the 12 o'clock position in teal, and then Light, the red Terran, at the bottom left in 9 o'clock position, we'll call it. Did we lose you, Fraser?
No, I just had to mute for a second to readjust.
Oh, okay. I was afraid that I'd lost you there for a minute. Yep, we can hear you.
I'm getting weird background noise somewhere. I don't know where. Is that from you?
It shouldn't be from me. I'm not really doing anything, so.
All right. Okay. I think I'm completely set up.
While Freezer finished getting himself started and set up, let's talk about the game a little bit. We're going to have with Crazy Hydra starting at 12 o'clock. He's definitely going to have his Overlord getting the right direction right off the bat, which is going to be a little bit of a help to him. It is actually going to help Light out a little bit in that he'll see the timing of that Overlord and be able to scout appropriately right off the bat as soon as he decides to send out an SCV. So that is always good for Light as well, taking little victories where you can, no matter what happens. We'll see what Light decides to do. Light usually goes for a bio build is his MO. He's not one of the big mech guys, but we'll see if he tries to maybe change that up a little bit. And Crazy Hydra's trying to hide the fact of where his Overlord came. I don't know if that's really going to work, but he's going to try and hide that for as long as he can.
Yeah, I think Light is pretty much almost exclusively bio these days. He might go for a mech switch later in the game, but should be just a standard 1 rack CC into... probably just 4 racks pressure. Crazy Hydra scouting pretty early. He is going to be going for a 12 hatch, so no early pressure going to be happening. Light's going to be able to get away with his 1 rack CC pretty easily. The barracks is... Oh, actually,
that's
no.
Light is actually making a second
barracks behind his mineral line instead of a command center, so it's going to be 2 racks at least coming from Light. The spawning pool is down for Crazy Hydra, so going to see if he saves Larva for... Zerglings to be able to propel this. I think his Overlord turned around and is going to be... No, actually, the Overlord is going outside of the base. His second Overlord is going to be going towards the command center, but he won't scout this with the first one.
Yeah, he's going to have no idea this is coming. By the time his Overlord gets in range of where that command center should be and sees that there's no command center there, it's going to be too late. He's already going to have like 7 Marines at that point. And it looks like the first Marine is going to be sending it out right away, going to try and put on a little early pressure, maybe trying to like fake a bunker rush or something. Oh, but he's going to throw up the bunker rush there, right there, and a couple drones coming off the line. And it looks like Crazy Hydra thinks that this is a fake, not pulling any drones off yet. And here comes an SCV charge as well. It looks like 6 more SCVs coming off the line, and they're going to charge as 2 racks full of Marines are going to start flowing into Crazy Hydra's base. So Crazy Hydra now sees us and is finally pulling off drones as well. So now we're going to get into a nice micro fight between Marines and SCVs as the drones try and stop those Marines from getting to that bunker.
There's about 6 or 7 drones that are off the line right now. There's 2 Marines behind a bunch of SCVs. Just the SCVs blocking for the Marines. One of the Marines kind of hitting there, and it might go down. Yeah, first Marine goes down. Second Marine is only being blocked by a couple SCVs, and the other ones are kind of out of position. The Zerglings are in there too, and the second Marine goes down, but there's 2 more coming. The drones have to run away. The Zerglings have, though, picked off the bunker, so this is kind of going to get shut down right here from Light. Shame he couldn't save that bunker.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's just a few seconds more and he might have been able to get there. But he does still have a good number of SCVs, and it looks like 4 Marines out right now, 2 more coming in and reinforcing as well. So if he decides that he wants to stick to it, he does still have a pretty solid force, although it looks like he is backing off right now, thinking that there's just no way with 2 hatcheries pumping lings, it would be very, very difficult for him to pull off any more consistent rush. But because of his failure, now he's in huge trouble. He doesn't have a second command center. He doesn't have a gas. He's really, really behind right now. He might have to time some sort of all in or another big pressure, because right now he's going to have a much lower Marine count. He's going to have later tech going up for whatever kind of probably a 2-hatch Spire play that Crazy Hydra's going to go for here.
Yeah, and Light can't even just expand right now because there's so many Zerglings out that he doesn't have enough forces to be able to hold off against the Zergling pressure that could be coming. He can probably assume that it's going to be a 2-hatch Hydra or Muta coming, but he can't guarantee that. It could be just a Ling all-in at this point just to contain him, or even like a Lurker build coming from Crazy Hydra. There's so many options for Crazy Hydra right now. 2-hatch Muta is probably going to be his choice, just to be able to play the standard game because he's so far ahead right now. Light really doesn't have any options other than defending right now, trying to get a big enough force to move out and hold his natural so that he can expand. Doesn't look like Crazy Hydra's going for any pressure right now. He's just scouting around the map, making sure there's nothing crazy going on, checking for any other proxies that would be the only real reason that he would lose his lead.
Yeah, I really like that, actually, scattering the Zerglings like that, looking for any sort of proxy factory or another starport or something like that. As soon as he goes into the natural, sees that there's no command center there, that's obviously the first thing he's going to look for in terms of being suspicious of something coming his way. It does look like Light actually is preparing for another push out. He's starting to produce some medics with that academy up, and he's got a pretty solid force of Marines, and it looks like Crazy Hydra is actually going to counter with 3 sunken colonies, and I believe all 3 of them will be up in time. So I don't know how much success Light's going to have. There are a good number of Zerglings out on the field. Should have Mutas coming up relatively soon, and those 3 sunken colonies should be up in time. So Crazy Hydra should be able to defend against this unless Light is able to hit a really nice timing window here. He's gonna go for it. Looks like not even setting up for a natural command center. So this is gonna be a huge battle right now, and a lot of Lings just lost right there as he went and tacked a fire vest. So that is gonna be terrible. He could actually might end up being in trouble here as the Marines are taking out 1 sunken colony, now going for a second sunken colony. The drones have come off the line to try and defend this. How this is going to be very, very close. 2 sunken colonies go down, 1 left, and it looks like it actually is going to go down, but there are not a whole lot of Marines left. He is going to try and produce everything that he can out of Zerglings and Mutas, whatever he can right now. Another sunken colony pops up, so now there's 2 remaining. It does look like he is going to be able to defend. He picks up, Light did pick up a lot of drones there, focusing on the drones rather than on the sunken colonies, those remaining 2 sunken colonies. So he gets a lot of drone kills, but his attack is not going to quite finish the game here. And it does look like Crazy Hydra is at least going to be able to get a few Mutalists out right now, as both players really, both of their economies just are kind of butchered right now. Neither of them really able to get going eco-wise, so this is going to become a nice little micro fight. I think this should be very interesting.
Yeah, I think the decision Light made there was the correct one. He maybe could have been able to focus down the 2 sunken colonies, but at that point he wouldn't have had enough troops to be able to do a whole lot of damage after that, so he took the damage that he could do, killing a few drones that came off the line. There are, I think, about 4 Mutas out right now. I don't see Light really pushing with those just yet. He has a few Lings outside the main base of Light as well. And actually the 4 Mutas are just poking around here, but probably not going to engage the turrets too much until he has probably about 6 or 7 Mutas. There are going to be 3 racks coming up for Light, so he will be able to defend this, but the problem for Light right now is that there's no way he's going to be able to take a natural expansion. he did kill a lot of drones, but his economy is obviously still not that great. He does have quite a few SCVs in his main, so he's going to be able to saturate a second base as soon as he can take it, but that's not going to happen anytime soon with all the mutas flying around and guarding him. There are turrets up in time, thank God for light, so the mutas aren't going to be able to do very much damage right now, and there are medic marines as well, but the mutas right now are just serving their purpose of containing light, while I imagine Crazy Hydra is just pumping drones.
The other thing to worry about right now for Light is just the lack of tech. He only has one command center, and he doesn't even have a factory, much less the starport or anything else. He's not going to have scans up, and we see the Hydra's already down, the second extractor going. He's going to be, Crazy Hydra's going to have lurkers out pretty soon, and at that point, it's going to be really tough for Light to push out. He's only going to have one command center worth of scans. He's not going to have any science vessels in any sort of time in order to fight these battles. So he's gonna have to use those scans very, very effectively and efficiently as we go into the mid game and these lurkers as they eventually pop out here.
Yeah, Light is pushing out now. He seems confident that there's not going to be a whole lot of Zerglings or lurkers out right now, so he's going to try to get another timing attack. He's kind of desperate to do some damage. He needs to keep Crazy Hydra from just expanding, droning up, and teching at the same time. There are quite a few mutas out. I think he lost one muta in that engagement, a bit of a slip up there from Crazy Hydra, but there are more Sunguns coming up, and I don't think Light's going to be able to break through that with all the mutas that are in the air at the same time. So there are a few Hydras, and actually, yeah, he's making 3 lurkers right now. So if those lurkers get up, then Light is pretty much just going to be dead without a natural expansion and without the detection to deal with the lurkers. I don't think he's going to be able to fight Crazy Hydra back, and really, he's not pushing right now. He needs to be pushing now, and even if he did, I don't think he's going to be able to break. So those lurkers are going to be able to keep Crazy Hydra in this game, and at that point, I think he's going to take complete control of the game.
Yeah, I really think I agree with you completely. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. And these mutalisks at the back are actually picking off a lot of the reinforcements. They picked off a bunch of Marines. They picked off a couple of medics. They're really limiting the size of this force. 3 lurkers. Not exactly spread out. If the 4 second colonies should be more than enough to defend this, and you see that Light knows that immediately backs off, and he's not even setting up for a second command center. He knows that at this point he's just so far behind. It's do or die. He's got to push right now. He's got to make this work. It looks like he's getting a science facility already, so he's going to try and get a science vessel out here and try and get a couple of radiates perhaps and detection to just try and take out a clump of mutas maybe with an irradiate, get that detection out for the lurkers and hope that that's enough. But honestly, I think, is that 2 science facilities? Yeah, I think he started a second one for some reason. That was weird. But I think he's just really desperate at this point, and as long as Crazy Hydra doesn't suicide his mutas or leave lurkers unburrowed or do something just off the wall and just bad, I think he should be able to deal with this and take this game pretty handily. I mean, Light is just so far behind right now.
Yeah, Light, Crazy Hydra is even making his 4th hatchery inside of his main right now with the mutas engaging the Marines in the natural expansion, just picking up a few. He doesn't really have to do a whole lot of damage, he's just keeping those Marines back. The 4th hatchery is inside the main, so normally the Zerg would be taking another base right now, but really he's keeping that inside of his main. He's just giving Light no opportunity to attack anywhere other than the front. And with that extra hatchery, he's probably just going to start making a lot of Zerglings. And with the mutas in the air, a lot of Zerglings, and a few lurkers, there's not really that Light can do with a mainly Marine Marauder. First tank is out, but the mutas go in right at the perfect time and kill the first tank. Now taking a couple shots at the turrets. There are turrets, but there's not a lot of turrets. The Marines are kind of trapped in the Sim City, and 3 turrets now going down. Well, not the 3rd one. But yeah, the Marines are just trickling in right now because of the building placement. Everything is in the main. And Crazy Hydra just killing several Marines right now, and now he's going to start picking at the SCVs. The first vessel is out, but he doesn't have a radiate yet. If the mutas get out of there before they irradiate, then yeah, that's a lot of damage done for pretty much for free from Crazy Hydra.
Yeah, that was a significant amount of damage on it. His mutas barely took any damage. Light is getting a second command center at his natural expansion, so he is finally going to get that going, but it's still very, very late. He's still taking a lot of damage, still doesn't have a lot of turrets up. Look at these mutas, one-shotting SCVs, and a nice irradiate going off there, and Crazy Hydra, that was actually kind of lucky that irradiate went on a pretty low damage mutalisk. He was unable to split that mutalisk off very quickly, but it didn't matter because that mutalisk died pretty quickly as well, so looks like he got a little bit lucky there. Crazy Hydra and Light got a little unlucky there, managing to pick the wrong Mutalisk by accident. But we got a lot of lurkers out on the field here. We're going to have a nice mid-game lurker Ling Mutaforce out for Crazy Hydra, and without that first tank, with that first vessel having already used its first irradiate, there could be a lack of energy, could be a lack of scans, could be a lack of a lot of things here for Light. If Crazy Hydra can hit a nice timing, he could do some damage as well as maybe set up for a third base behind it.
Yeah, he actually already has a third base going up in the top right.